I've been stuck in a loop lately. Wake up, play Void War, die, switch to Noita, explode, question my life choices, and then repeat. Roguelikes and roguelites, they're games that hate you, but in a deeply respectful way. Procedural worlds, permadeath, wild synergies, and just enough progress to keep you hooked like some loot-hungry Sisyphus. And in 2025, it's shaping up to be a golden age for glorious suffering, and today we're going to dive into 18 upcoming roguelike and roguelite gems that could easily devour your free time and maybe your will to live, but in the best possible way. My name is Tom and this is LT Gaming. We explore all types of games, strategy, RPGs and indie gems that offer more than just the flash. If you like meaningful mechanics, clever design and the occasional yelling just one more run, you're going to be in good company here. Like and subscribe if you're into it, and leave a comment telling me what game has ruined your productivity this month. Okay, let's jump into this one. Inkshade is a turn-based tactics roguelite built as though Tim Burton made a wooden board game and haunted it with Lovecraftian puppets. You're going to command a crew of miniature figures across locked rooms, solving puzzles, recruiting fallen enemies, and upgrading pieces to inch closer to something beyond this abyss. This one is launching on the 14th of August and is Studio Vazel's debut, and it shows promises of a very stylish and unforgiving tactical roguelite for this year. To be honest, I'm fascinated how it blends board game elegance with dark fantasy horror, and it seems right up my alley, something like a cursed Jumanji in miniatures. Definitely a wishlist for me. Now, bit of a weird one for you, HackHub. This is a roguelite, but not the dungeon crawling kind. It's got terminals, text command and digital infiltration instead. You're a hacker for hire, poking your way through procedurally generated networks, using actual tools as well. It's got that retro uplink vibe, but built for modern roguelite sensibilities. You run short missions, gather tools, and get better at evading detection. I tried the demo recently and had a blast. I was tapping into this weird minimalist thrill and I really enjoyed it. If you like your roguelites more brains than brawn and ever fancied yourself a keyboard warrior or cowboy, and there's a lot of them out there, HackHub is one for your wishlist. Infiniwar throws you into procedurally generated modern warzone with a handful of troops, improvised air support, so there's no time to get comfy. It's a real-time roguelite with tactical depth, so you drop your units in and adapt on the fly. The hook with this one is how it's going to mix strategic escalation with roguelite runs. Each mission will give you new tools, artillery, drones and even the odd tactical nuke, not too bad. And it's done in this stylized, slightly lo-fi look. But what it lacks up in gloss and glamour, it makes up for ambition, and if the devs can stick the landing, it could be one of those endlessly replayable tactical sandboxes. Stellar Wings is not your usual roguelite. This one is a grand strategy sandbox wrapped up in some bullet hell fireworks. So set in a procedurally shifting galaxy full of pirates, political intrigue, and trade lanes crying out for some exploitation, you're going to lead a burgeoning fleet, expanding influence system by system, trading, fighting, forging alliances, all while navigating dazzling fleet battles that look like something akin to Vampire Survivors in space. So if you fantasize about juggling starship upgrades, warring factions, and drifting through some asteroid storms, this one could absolutely be your jam. If you thought roguelites were strictly for dungeon crawls and bullet dodging chaos, Towa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree might just rewrite that assumption. This one is set for release on the 19th of September this year and is a vibrant isometric action roguelite from Brownies Inc. and Bandai Namco. So think Eastern mysticism meets sword and staff combat with some co-op flair. You pick two guardians, one wielding a sacred sword, the other a magical staff, and every guardian has a swap-in weapon system that forces you to juggle styles strategically mid-fight, not just spam combos. Honestly, this one is a real mystery to me, but it looks like a good blend of tactical depth and emotional investment. Gorgeous looking, smart and infectious hopefully, and definitely worthy of a wishlist. Alright, onto a deck builder now, but instead of swords and spells, you're manipulating the stock market, and this is insider trading. You build a deck that shifts card-based markets on a daily price chart, aiming to hit your profit targets before the week ends. This one's clearly influenced by Balatro, but themed around financial mayhem. Cards buff or crash prices, perks multiply returns, and occasionally negative events like a recession force you to adapt fast and on the fly. Demo reviews on this one were glowing, 97% positive across hundreds of players, and I genuinely think this one could be a big hit. However, visually I think it's a little bit straining to the eye, but hopefully it's gonna nail the vibe. Next up we have a cyberpunk deck builder with Into the Grid. This one is turn-based roguelite where each run throws you into procedurally generated mesh of networks, nodes and sentinel guards. And you wield your cards like the Data Spike or Overclock to bend the system to your will. It's a game that looks heavy on rhythm. Play a program card, reveal a node, dodge the sentinel, run perks that reshape your deck, rinse and repeat for position-based system hacking. If you're into cyberpunk aesthetics and strategy layered over card synergy, Into the Grid is definitely one to get onto your wishlist. Pixel Starships 2 is the much anticipated evolution of the shipbuilding roguelite universe, launching into early access on 27th of August this year. The core idea remains: design your starship, recruit crew and pit it against AI or live players, but with a modern overhaul. So think 3D pixel visuals, expansive customization, programmable AI, oxygen systems, power management and all that good stuff. Some early reports have raised eyebrows, some construction times which are quite hefty, a bit of a grindy freemium model, and even some players are warning it leans towards pay to win. I hope this isn't the case, but the promise with this one is still tantalizing, and I think it will find its market if it gets it right. Switching gears now, Rogue Eclipse is a spaceflight action roguelite where dying means crashing through starfields only to reboot and try again. So you're piloting a starfighter through procedurally generated voids, swarm breaking capital ships, and colossal behemoths in destructible environments, all dripping with sci-fi operatic flair. Wearing its inspirations on its sleeve, it's something akin to Star Fox meets Armored Core, light on complexity but sharp on feedback. Upgrading your ship between runs, mastering strafes and dive bombs. A demo dropped recently that you can check out, and personally I'm waiting to see if this one can nail that arcade lethal loop, tight aerial combat looped over escalating roguelike runs. Check it out. And now enter the Gungeon 2. Yes, the bullet hell classic is officially getting its sequel, but with a twist. Everything is being rebuilt in gorgeous 3D. At its heart, it still looks and feels like the original, dodge rolling through waves of projectiles, grabbing absurd guns, wrestling with the roguelike chaos. But this time everything has more dimension and weight, literally. Falling into pits, slamming into walls, all launched by physics that only 3D can really do justice. I do think this is a bold leap, and pixel purists may raise some eyebrows. Personally, I'm cautiously excited. If they can get the balance between depth and chaos right, and the sequel has the same feel and vibe as the original, could be one of those rare follow-ups that truly honours its predecessor. Let's talk Super Fantasy Kingdom, a roguelike city builder that wears its contradictions proudly. Peaceful kingdom management by day, frantic mob defense by night. You're a ruler rebuilding lands, harvesting resources, recruiting defenders, all the good stuff. But everything is destined to collapse once the undead hordes arrive. Each run you collect glory points to unlock new heroes, equipment and expand your realm. Progress that sticks across your failures so your next attempt feels smarter, not stagnant. This one has amassed already over 300,000 wishlists and the hype is growing. It's set for release in Q3 this year, and personally I'm really looking forward to the mix of city planning zen and frantic nighttime defense. Shroom and Gloom is like stepping into a fever dream where mushrooms fight back and sometimes become dinner. This one is a first-person roguelike deck builder with a twist. 2 decks. One handles exploration, navigating murky tunnels, encountering toad shrines, unlocking secrets, while the other unleashes combat cards in fungus-filled fights. The art style is really dark and hand-drawn and I love it. Reviews for the demo are absolutely glowing, and personally I'm drawn to how clever this whole setup feels. Blending exploration, card growth and the grotesque charm all in one. If you like your roguelikes weird, challenging and distinct, Shroom and Gloom deserves a spot on your wishlist. What happens when you fuse Slay the Spire's deck building with the pressure of an interstellar survival mission? You're gonna land with something like Earthless. As a captain of a dwindling colony fleet, your goal is straightforward. Pilot starships through a grid-based galaxy, fight off cosmic threats with tactical card battles, and wrench hope from the void. This one has a big name behind it. It's developed by Blackbird Interactive, but let's think Hard Space Shipbreaker rather than Homeworld 3 here. But it looks like a well-crafted early deck builder with systems that feel quite grown up, story elements, crew dynamics, and the tactical variety that all hinge on how you guide your ship. What's my take on this one? Well, I think the game holds some serious potential if it balances the complexity without losing any momentum. Earthless could be one of the best strategy deck builders out there releasing this year. Jupiter Moon's Mecha isn't your usual deck builder. This one is a roguelike where your deck literally is your mech. Each body part, arms, leg, torso and head, hosts weapons, heatsink, armor and utility cards. If you damage or overheat a certain section, you lose access to the cards mid-run. A really cool mechanic, I think. Combat feels thoughtful. You earn spare parts to upgrade, balance heat threshold so your mech doesn't shut down, and rebuild between battles. Rarely is deck building that tactile. Visually, this one looks bright with bold mech designs and cockpit level presentation, simplistic but effective. If you like resource balancing baked into every choice and a deck builder that's trying something new, Jupiter Moon's Mecha is worth a wishlist spot. Slay the Spire 2 is the highly anticipated follow-up to the 2019 deck building classic, and it's officially launching into early access in 2025. You're going to climb the new version of the Spire set 1,000 years in the future, with returning favourites like Ironclad and Silent, plus some fresh faces like the mysterious Necrobinder. Gameplay wise, I expect the same elegant mix of card-based combat, relic-driven synergies, and sinking absolutely hundreds of hours into this game. Personally, I'm wildly optimistic on this. If they nail the pacing without losing that same original depth, Slay the Spire 2 could claim this genre crown all over again. Wishlist this one now, it's going to be one of the biggest releases for the genre in years.